Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as the United States. We are now at peace after winning our war with Russia, in which we managed to annex Sakhalin and Kamchatka. So that gives us total control of the Northern Pacific. Our fleet is, I believe, either back on the east coast, or yeah, it's back on the east coast, except for one. Oh no, it's all still in Northeast Asia. My bad. Well, it'll be back on the east coast soon. In the meantime, we're building one battleship and a whole pile of destroyers as soon as we have the budget for it. Battlecruisers. Well, a replacement light cruiser. Whoops. Battlecruisers. And then probably carriers. Hopefully the budget will last long enough to get this first wave of destroyers finished. Reduced impurities, improvement in armor quality. Britain has a faster torpedo bomber than us. Good for them. I remember training on in that whole war with Russia. Didn't really matter. We just obliterated them. Ah, right. Submarines. No, we only have 0. Apparently we lost all our submarines in the war. Okay. I'm going to build 5 submarines. Not that I really intend to use them, but I want to at least keep the tech moving forward. A regional war imminent in South America. Yeah, export whatever you want. Improved 40mm autocannon, better medium AA. Not that I instantly want another war, but we're not really that unprepared for one as such. If we could get a couple more carriers, maybe, we'd be pretty much ready for one. Oh, Great Constitution is now the one doing operas. Let's thwart Russia's plans. Okay. Yeah, it's working on it. Really, Russia? You want to fight again? Don't they have... Yeah, they have 1 battlecruiser, 2 carriers, 4 light carriers operational. They have nothing. Less fleet tonnage than Spain. I have no idea why they'd even consider fighting us again. French naval patrol aircraft. Alright, I think the budget should make it 4 months to finish this first wave of Perry-class destroyers. North American built a new torpedo bomber. It is... It's actually shorter range than the last one. I think I'm going to decline. I think I'm not developing one, though, so I should develop a new torpedo bomber. Okay. Yeah. Speed is important, but I want them to be... Range is still a pretty big concern at this point. And then durability is just always good for a bomber. We have too many opera lovers in the Navy. Ah, underway replenishment, better logistics. It's a very behind-the-scenes thing. You don't have to pay too much attention to logistics, but it should help. Shatter-resistant shells, better AP penetration. Alright, maybe we'll just make it the 1 month to get the first wave of parries finished. Navy is not a tool for the steel industry's profits. Okay, we have plenty in the budget now. Need to get some more destroyers. We need a new light cruiser. Yeah, the Junos had 8 6-inch guns, 8 dual-purpose 4-inch guns, and they made 30 knots. The main thing I'd like to add to a new design is probably surface torpedo tubes, because they seem to have come in pretty handy for a lot of light cruisers. And more speed. Oh, triple turrets are also an option. Okay, that's good, yeah. We should do that. Dang. This is, Huh. This is a pretty good auto design, actually. It's pretty much everything that I was talking about. I think I will not put all these mines on, but I might see how expensive it would be to squeeze in like a seaplane or two. Too expensive for a light cruiser. Maybe we'll try a heavy cruiser design with one. Thin armor, but well, at long range, the difference between a 2 and a 3-inch belt could still be significant, actually, against 6-inch type guns. A 2-inch deck, though, that's important also. I really kind of like this auto design, which is not typical, but no, it should have some torpedo defense, though. Maybe not the very best, but some. Maybe I'll sacrifice a knot of speed for that. How heavy were the Junos? I think they were like 8,000, so this is going to be pretty heavy, but okay. We should probably... we haven't had any problem with that, though. I'm going to go with this design. Unless there's some obvious flaw I'm missing. It looks pretty good for our purposes. Hard to say how many we'll build. Ideally, we would replace all the Junos eventually, but we're not ready for that yet. Okay. Consolidated duck fighter new variant. Faster, longer ranged. Slightly heavier bomb load. Good. Now, wow, we have a ton of funding after we bombarded that South American capital. Thanks, Congress. Now, what do I spend it on? First of all, 68 destroyers in surface. I'm not going to replace any. I'm going to decommission these Henleys as soon as the next wave of parries is finished, but not yet. We're going to need to lay down a Cincinnati. Possibly several. In the short term, as soon as we've replaced Indiana, then the oldest ships we're going to have in service are going to be Saratoga and Ranger. And they do need replacing quite badly, so let's look into battlecruisers. Now, the Congress design here is only a few years old, so we might just build more of these. we could do something wackier, like an all-forward design or something. How fast was... This does 30 knots. 12-inch belt, 4-inch deck. Okay. What if I went for 32 knots, 12-inch belt, 4-inch deck, minimally 12-inch conning tower, or turrets, all or nothing, yes. Oil, best torpedo defense possible. Inclined belt, yes, I think. No box protection. More secondaries than that. But none of these tertiaries, but do make those dual purpose. I can do that, right? Yeah. 32 knots. Why is this 12 and a half? I said 12. Okay, but then what I was thinking of doing is we take out the aft turrets. We add an additional forward turret. No, the other way, though. Oh, could I just... No. They're kind of... workable. 3 triple turrets forwards. It looks ugly on this design, but... We could get 9 guns. This seems like a good layout for a battle cruiser. That's a lot of weight. Okay. Never mind that. Any of this is useless. It does have a seaplane carrier or hangar. I'm gonna not bother. We will probably try to shove those onto heavy cruisers. I'm gonna use that weight I just freed up to put on more secondaries. Do we reckon 32 knots is necessary? Probably is. And this will be the United States class. I should really make it look prettier, but... Oops. Asymmetric superstructure. Okay. I'm just going to pile the gun on top of the bridge so it doesn't look like it's overlapping, and leave the bridge like that. Maybe. Oops. Do I have to select it here? I don't know what I have selected there. No, I don't want them to be asymmetric. I just want those. I don't even know if those are real. Let me just... There we go. Okay. Although that's still there, which I don't actually have anymore. Really, the bridge should get scooted back into there. I could clear the superstructure, but that wouldn't look great. Yeah, I don't know. Visually, I'd just like to move the bridge backwards, but I'm bad at figuring out the graphics in this game, so looks good enough. It's functional, which is what actually matters. Whoops, I don't actually have the money to develop this. Alright, give it a couple months. Should be saved. I'll give it 1 month, actually. Spain and Austria-Hungarian alliance has expired. I assume that was aimed at Italy. Creeping zone AA barrage, better heavy AA. Improved carrier design, bigger carriers. The Republic has developed a naval patrol aircraft. It has higher speed, higher range, higher firepower, higher maneuverability, higher toughness, and higher bomb load, so it's better in every possible way than our existing aircraft. Yeah, I'll buy it. And now, if somebody would actually design this, please. Thank you. Variable pitch propellers, better cruiser range. Streamlined shells, 5% gun range. I'm going to build one Cincinnati just to replace our war losses. We'll probably build more, though, soonish. If we can get the money together. Fascist coup in Spain. Yeah, not really my problem. They're so pathetic that I have no interest in fighting them. Working on electro-optical director. Alright, torpedo bomber prototypes. We have entries from Martin, Consolidated, North American, and Curtis. North Americans is too slow and too short-ranged. They are out. The others all have virtually identical speeds. Curtis has the best range. Equal best firepower, equal best maneuverability. The Martin is slightly tougher, but I would rather take the range on this. They all have the same bomb load. Yeah, the Curtis design. We have a very good monthly balance, but that's fine because we're going to annihilate it as soon as those battlecruisers are designed. German-Austro-Hungarian alliance. Never saw that before. This can only end well for Europe. Well, I'm not ready for a war just now, but yeah, we can raise armament expenditures. Okay, the United States is ready. Let's build 2 of them. God, and we can almost pay for it, too. I mean, we're only slowly losing money. As soon as all these destroyers are finished, we'll have funds to spare still. Which we're going to use on carriers, I think. We just don't have enough carriers. I don't know if I build more fleet carriers or if I actually develop a light carrier force, but we need more carriers. We're the United States. I feel like maybe we just pile up so many fleet carriers that it doesn't matter that we don't have light carriers. Five destroyers. What? The government literally just... I guess to be fair, there was an election. Did the government boost armament expenditure? Well, I feel it was a month too late for the election. Have the Navy League protest. Flight deck catapults. Catapults on carriers. Yeah, that'll be handy. Good to have that right before we, might design a carrier. Okay, tension's getting a little high with Britain, but nothing out of bounds. We're actually making money again. which probably means it's time to design that carrier. Okay, I think we're going to design an 80 aircraft fleet carrier, but just give me 1 second. Okay, yeah. Fleet carrier, 80 aircraft. Enterprise, good name. 30 knots should be fine. Best torpedo defense that money can buy. That's probably a good idea, actually. If it gets shot, then it's dead anyway, so... I'm not even really sure if there's much any point in investing in the belt, basically, at all. It's a pretty heavy secondary armament, but yeah, dual purpose. Or primary armament, actually. Piles of AA. Wow. This design carries 100 aircraft. I was honestly only going for 80. But add a catapult, yeah. I don't know if there's much point in having more than one, or per se, or centerline swivel mount, whatever. Is there any point in having more than... Oh, deck armor has to be... I see. Now, how much cheaper is this? Okay, quick experiment time. This can be 31,400 tons, and that's 3,300 a month for 28 months, or 93,000 total. Now, if I wanted that 100 aircraft design, it's not 20% more expensive, but it is more expensive. Notably so. I don't think we have enough carriers to be going all in on a really big design. I'd rather have more. That's enough of a difference that it could be an extra carrier in the budget at some point. So we'll stick with the slightly smaller design. Okay, it can have up to 2 catapults. I don't know if it actually improves it or not, but it can. It does now have too much topside AA. That's fine. Okay, so it's got what? 16 5-inch dual-purpose guns. It's got the absolute maximum AA I can stuff onto it. Makes 30 knots. 3-inch deck, which is the important thing. Torpedo protection I can buy. 80 aircraft. Catapults. Should be good. I think it'll pretty much be the foremost carrier design in the world, actually. I don't think anybody has... Yeah, the Germans have 44 aircraft on theirs. The Brits have like 50. Yeah, I don't think anybody else has built a carrier with more than 60 aircraft yet. 62 on one of the Italian ones. That's the Spanish have carriers. That's remarkable in itself. Actually, Austria-Hungary has the biggest at 67, but yeah, those will be the biggest and hopefully the toughest carriers in the world that we're building there. Of course, it's a matter of actually finding the money to actually build them, but 5 submarines and 4 destroyers commissioned. Republic has upgraded the Widgeon with a bit more speed, bit more range, and that's about it. Not exactly radical, but Westland Warwick. Good name. How do we have so much money still? Jeez, we're building 3 capital ships right now. Okay, so we've got 12 battleships in service, which means we have the most battleship tonnage in the world. Once we get those 2 battle cruisers finished, we will have comfortably the most battle cruiser tonnage in the world. We are well behind on heavy cruisers for whatever reason. People have been building a lot of them, but we have battle cruisers more than anybody else has, so I think that makes up for it. We are 70,000 tons behind Britain still, which is interesting. And I think that's just between their heavy cruisers and their light carrier program, but we should catch up. Alright, so we're going to wait for the carriers to be finished so that I can see what kind of budget we have once that's done. Also, I'm going to now decommission the 8 Henley-class destroyers. That leaves us with a destroyer force of just Winslow and Perry-class, which all have 8 5-inch guns and 2 quad torpedo tubes. So they're pretty compatible with each other. I'm going to put the Saratogas in mothballs now that their successors are actually laid down. Oh, and I'm going to rename a couple of these Perry class. Maybe Paulding. It's a weird name. Whoops. Not what I wanted to do. I know that. Yeah. We're going to rename it as... we're going to rename this one Haufman. Instead of 2 N's. I don't know if it does or not. I'm going to put 2 N's. And read as... Star Jumper, in recognition of a couple of regular commentators, viewers. Hi, Hoffman. Speaking of, it is 2 N's. What did I even just click through? I got distracted. Oh well. I'm just waiting for the carrier designs to be finished. We're going to lay down about as many of them as we can afford anyway. Better dive bombers. Improved welding, 2% weight saving. Improved design methods, 1% armor weight reduction. Magnetic pistols. Torpedoes do more damage but have more duds. Curtis Corsair is what they're calling the torpedo bomber. Alright, these are how much per month to build? 3,300? Okay, if I lay down 4, will we make it through budgetarily until Wyoming is commissioned? It'll be touch and go. I can always pause one. Once Wyoming is commissioned, we'll almost be stable budget-wise, so we're building 7 capital ships right now. Once these are all built, then it's time to revamp the cruiser force again, but it's not that old. Oil in Puerto Rico. Well, kind of irrelevant. We don't need it, but we have lots of oil elsewhere, but combat supply loading, better invasion capability. Who do we want to fight, anyway? I mean, it's pretty much got to be Britain. I'm going to step intel up on them. Maybe them. We could fight Japan, but I think it would be pretty one-sided. I could be wrong, but they're kind of penned in by our bases even, you know? Magnetic mines, mine efficiency. Russia is stealing tech. I will send a diplomatic note. I don't know why they would risk provoking a war with us. Ah, torpedo protection 4. Boy, I wish I'd had that for all these 2 new capital ship classes I just designed. Oh well. Chemical oxygen generator, 5% submarine reliability. And 1 more month, and USS Wyoming will be completed. Westland Whitley. Oh, and we've stolen temper brittleness from Great Britain. Okay, that's good. Right, so USS Wyoming is now working up. We're going to go ahead and decommission USS Indiana. She fought 1 battle in 22 years of service. She did well in that battle. I mean, the Kentucky's been the backbone of the fleet for a long time, but finally the end of the line for the last of them. And now we have an all 16-inch armed battle line. 3 Minnesotas, 4 Illinois, 5 Pennsylvanias. I guess I should organize them better. You guys should be 3rd Battle Division. You guys should be 2nd Battle Division, and you guys are first. There we go. Okay. Alright. Now, a bunch of long-term projects here, because it'll be 2 years before all these capital ships are finished, and that's going to occupy most of our budget until they are. Once they are finished, at that point, probably we build a bunch more Cincinnatis to replace the Junos, and we start looking at something to replace the Brooklyns, which are actually slightly older than the Junos, but thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.